Hey guys, Charlani here. It is vacation week. Rob and I are headed on a cruise ship, and I am going to take you along with us every single step of the way. So if you are not already subscribed and you want to join us for the entire next week, then don't forget to hit the subscribe button, hit the bell for notifications. In today's video, we're gonna talk about prepping. We're gonna talk about how I book a cruise, where I chose to book the cruise, where we're gonna go, how I choose the different destinations, ports, all the things. We'll talk money. We'll talk all the planning and preparation so that when it comes to packing for our trip, I don't forget anything and we will be ready to go. This coming week, I'm gonna share all the things. We are going to share a ship tour. I'll show you how we set up our stateroom. I will share all the eating venues. Of course, we're gonna do a shop with me. So all the things coming up this week, vacation. So it's like we're taking a little bit of a break from all the Christmas things. So if you are as excited as I am about cruising, or if you want to know about cruising, then I think these videos this upcoming week is going to be something that you want to watch. So let's go ahead and start planning. One of the first things that you want to do is choose the cruise line that you're going to sail with. Rob and I prefer Royal Caribbean. We have been on their cruises many times before. And one thing I will suggest is that when you find a cruise line that you really enjoy, stick with them as much as you can, because as you sail with them, you actually accumulate points, you get more perks, things like that. And having freebies on cruise ships, it's always a good thing, right? So you have a lot to choose from. You've got Norwegian, Princess, Carnival, Disney. If you love the Disney brand, if you have kids, you would probably absolutely love Disney cruise ships. Now, the other thing to consider is where you're leaving from. So wherever the port is that you are going to embark on your ship, you need to know where that is and then take a look at what cruise lines leave from that area. So this trip, Rob and I are leaving from Galveston, Texas. So what I did was I went into the Royal Caribbean app, or I guess it's actually the website. But what you'll want to do is go up to a Find a Cruise. And you're going to have a whole lot of different options to choose from. You've got cruise dates, so if you know when you're going, destinations, if you know where you want to go, is it going to be an Alaska cruise? Is it going to be a Mexico cruise? Maybe you want to go to the Bahamas. You can see that there are lots of different options here. The other thing you want to consider is your departure port. Again, we're leaving out of Galveston. This is also where they will bring you home. So it makes sense to figure out, are you closest to Los Angeles? Are you on the East Coast and you're going to go out of Miami? Maybe you'll go out of Fort Lauderdale. So you have to know where you're going to depart from. Choose the number of nights that you are going to want to stay, because there are anywhere from 2 to 5 nights, 6 to 8 nights, 9 to 11, lots of different options there as well. Rob and I definitely prefer anywhere from 5 to 7 nights. Anything longer than that for us is too long. And I think anything shorter than that is just a little too short. So for us, 5 to 7 nights is usually the way we do it. And like I said, it's just perfect. Anything after 7 is too much. I do remember one time we were on a cruise. It was probably day 3 or 4. And this is when my kids were small. So I would say Kaylee was probably 8 or 9. Robbie was 4 or 5. And I missed them so much. And by night 3 or 4, I was like, I want to go home. And we still had a couple of days, and Rob was looking at me like, really? And I'm sitting there crying at dinner like, I just want to go home. So know your limits. 3 to 5 nights, or is it 5 to 7 nights? Choose which will work for you. If you're leaving your kids, then you got to consider that as well. If you're bringing them with you, you got to consider that as well. So the one thing about cruising is if you have kids, they are amazing because there are so many activities. They actually have like a place. I don't want to call it a daycare because it seems like so much more than that. So for example, my son never wanted to leave the adventure, I think it's called adventure area? Adventure something. It's the kids area. And they have them blocked off according to age, what they like to do, things like that. So if you have kids, cruising is definitely an option. Okay, so as you see here, this says $632 average per person, $120 per person. This is 7 nights, this is 3 nights. You just have to kind of look and see what the options are based on where you want to go, what port you're leaving from, how many nights, etc. Now, for Rob and I on this trip, all we needed to know was that we wanted something 5 to 7 nights. We needed to leave out of Galveston, and I wanted to sail on a new ship, a ship that we have never been on before. And we have never been on the ship that we are going on this time, and I cannot wait. It's gonna be the largest ship that we've ever sailed on, and don't worry, I'm gonna show you all the things. When we get on there, we'll do a tour. I cannot wait for it. So very excited. But the other thing is if you want to go to certain destinations, then make sure that you know where that particular cruise on that particular week is going to. This time, Rob and I don't really care. Honestly, we're probably not gonna get off the boat. We might, it depends. When we get on, we're gonna see what the excursions are when we are in ports. We are going to Mexico. You know what? Let me look. Let's see where we're going. I don't even know. I should know this. Puerto Costamaya and Cozumel. Those are the two, and then we have a couple of days at sea. But Rob and I really just want to, number 1, explore a new ship. Number 2, relax. And I think we're gonna try maybe in Cozumel, maybe we'll see if we can go on a beach excursion just to maybe lay out, hang out at a beach, just so that we could put our feet in the sand. But that wasn't a priority for us this time. Like I said, we're just going to relax and enjoy poolside dining, drinks by the pool. I'm envisioning pina coladas. So that's kind of what our priority is. But you do need to know, and you should know, where you're going on your cruise. Now, there are tons of all-inclusive eating restaurants on the ship. However, they do have specialty restaurants as well. And that's why when you figure out what cruise ship you are going on, like what sailing you're doing, then look at your dining package options. So if you wanted to go into one of the steakhouses or hibachi grill places, all of those things might be options on your ship, but they're not included in your all-inclusive price. So like I had mentioned before, like for example, this 7 nights Alaska cruise is $632 per person. This 3-night Ensenada cruise is $120. So that is an average of an interior stateroom, which are the smaller staterooms, and the all-inclusive dining options. However, you do have the options to add on. Rob and I don't ever do that. We don't add on the ultimate dining package or the unlimited dining package because number 1, it's $190.99 per guest, which is pretty darn pricey, right? Like it gets expensive. And there are so many of the restaurants that are inclusive, that's totally fine for us. We'll be fine with that. However, what we do, and we do buy the deluxe beverage package. So again, again, if you're going in, know how much you are willing to spend, because this is where your price kind of really adds up. So when you come over here, you're like, oh my gosh, $632, but that is just the base package of your interior stateroom and the all-inclusive dining, which if you are on a budget, that absolutely is doable. But if you want a nicer room, a larger stateroom, then you're gonna pay up for that. The other thing is you're paying up for the deluxe beverage package, because $74.99 per guest per day for all the drinks you can drink. So it just depends on you. It depends on if you are a heavy drinker. Maybe you just want the soda package. They have that too. Good idea for your kids if you've got kids traveling with you. If you don't drink alcoholic beverages, then you might also want to get that just the regular beverage package, because you get water bottles too. That was really important for me. So for us, and the only way to do this is to call in, but Rob got the deluxe beverage package and I got the regular one. I don't drink very much at all. So if I want an alcoholic beverage, I'll just pay for it, because I know for me, mostly I'll want the non-alcohol beverages, because I can get the virgin pina coladas and I'll have a ton of water. I drink so much water. So that's what we chose to do, but you have to call and talk to a representative, because there are 2 of us in a stateroom, and if you try and book it online, they're gonna make you book the deluxe package for both people. Now, if you add that up for us on this cruise, again, it depends on how many nights you go, but this is $74.99 per person per day. Math is hard for me. I'll let you do the math. Just know it's a lot. The other thing that we always add on is the internet surf and stream package, and that is $21.99 a day, but we also get it for 2 devices. Now, just a tip on that. So if you get the internet package, you'll see that it says $21.99 per day per person, but you can just get one, $21.99 a day, but get 2 devices, because I'll just let Rob have the second device. So it's $37.99 per day for both Rob and I. So it was $21.99 would have been for each of us individually, but I just got the one for $37.99, and that gives us 2 devices, one for me, one for him, and we'll be good to go. Now, you do want to get the and streaming if you're wanting to watch YouTube, Netflix, any of the video type things. If you want to watch stories, shorts, anything that streams, you have to get the Boom Surf and Stream. And whatever cruise line you decide to go on, just double check and make sure what their internet service is and how much it costs. But this happens to be Royal Caribbean. This is how it works for us. Again, internet is your friend. So when you decide, like for example, if you decide that you're going on a Disney cruise, Google it, search it. You'll get to, there are so many people on the internet who share everything. Somebody will have an answer for you if you have a question. So when it's time to choose your check-in time, the way Royal Caribbean and the embarkation port works is you have a check-in time. It's like a window of time for you to actually get onto the boat, and I chose noon. So I had to go in and figure out how long it was gonna take us to drive from Frisco all the way to Galveston, and it is several hours. So we're gonna have to leave here at like 4:30, 5 o'clock. Which is so early. However, we're gonna be so excited that it's not gonna be a problem getting up. I'm just gonna have to make sure that I am packed and ready to go so we can literally roll out of bed, get in the car, and drive down to the port. So I have a packing list. It looks like this. It's just a piece of paper that I have had with me for the last couple of weeks, and every single time I remember, don't forget this or don't forget that, I add it to this list right here. So when I'm in my office, I am remembering, oh my gosh, yes, I am filming, right? So I'm gonna film all the things for you guys. So I need to make sure that I have my camera, my chargers, my tripod, the little thingy that you have to put the HD card in so that it can transfer the clips onto my laptop. Don't forget the laptop, don't forget the notebooks and the planners, all the things. So when you are remembering and you don't want to forget something, add it to your list. And this, there's no rhyme or reason. This is not organized in any way. When I think of things, like for example, I've got clothing stuff down here, I've got office stuff up here, but that's about it. Other than that, I just leave it all on here, and wherever there's room, that's when I put it. I have tip money on here, passports, things like that. You don't want to forget that. There are obviously places where you can buy, if you forget your toothbrush, your toothpaste, then obviously you're going to be able to buy that on the ship if you need to, but you're also probably going to pay a pretty good penny for that. But things like contacts, glasses, eyeglasses, readers, things like that, you want to kind of make sure that you bring your own. Now, I know that the day before, so tomorrow, when we are headed out, I am going to do a load of laundry. Now, something that you might want to remember as well is I have a cover up that kind of looks like a robe almost, and it has this belt right here. Don't forget to add things like this to your list too. Belts like this, my bathing suit straps, things like this, because these are the things that if you're last minute packing, and I usually pack the day before, I try never to pack the day of. I always try and start the day before so I'm not scrambling. But even if you have a packing list and you are scrambling, you shouldn't forget things if you've started that packing list a couple of weeks ago. So straps, things like this, important. Write it on your list so you don't forget them. I have already printed out our luggage tags. You could do this online. I have this board right here so that Rob and I, if we need to write little notes to each other, if I have left the stateroom and he's sleeping, I can put a little note on here. If we decide we're going on an excursion, we'll know what day that is. So I love having this dry erase board. I've added magnets to it just because most of the staterooms have like a lot of magnetic spaces, or metal spaces, so that you could put things that are magnets on there. Another thing that I bring are these little clips and hooks. And once we get into the stateroom, I will definitely show you how I use all these things. I've got these kind of hooks for the closet. I have towel bands like this to hold our towels up on our lounge chairs. And then I also I've got a sponge here because of course we're gonna take our go-go juice. I'm gonna need to rinse out my cup. So I've got some dish soap. I also have some laundry detergent. And what I do with that, so for example, if you wear your bathing suit or you have a shirt or something that needs quick washing, you can just stick it right in a big, large baggie. I add just a drop of the laundry detergent and then I fill it with water and I mush it up and then I squeeze it out and I hang it to dry, and voila, laundry is done. So that is an easy, quick, inexpensive way to do it yourself and do it in a pinch if you need to. We also have these kinds of hooks that I'll bring just in case they don't have metal. I can just stick these on there like this, and this is just a good place to hang your lanyards. And I do have just a bunch of lanyards. Rob's got his Bucks one. I've got this blingy black one, but they will give you a card when you check in, and we just hold them in here, put them around our necks, and you walk around the boat, and that's how you kind of get into certain areas. If you've got those drink packages, it's gonna be connected to your card that they give you. And then the other thing I have is just this charging strip. It's a power strip that's got the 3 regular plugs, and then you've got 4 USBs here. And sometimes this becomes very, very helpful because there aren't a lot of plugs on some in some cruise cabins. So we are definitely planned up. We are ready to go, and I can't wait to see you on the cruise ship this whole next upcoming week. All right, guys, I hope you're having a great day. When we come back from the cruise, we will be hopping into all the holiday decor, all the things, but vacation first and then Christmas everything. All right, guys, we'll see you on the boat. Bye.